All right, aloha, Tulsi Kratz and Bernie Kratz and Indie Kratz and Nobody Kratz and free radicals like myself. My name is Dave, and this is the Radical Independent. Yesterday I did a video about Tulsi Gabbard and the rigging of polls. Look who just did a video. Not that she's copying me, because her content is far superior to mine. Kim Iverson, who explains this in about a 27-minute video, which is well worth watching. A couple of things that I've gleaned from that is that the timing of Tulsi Gabbard's military deployment here may have actually influenced the way the DNC decided to start counting which polls matter. And also, because she's off the campaign trail literally for 2 weeks, all of this polling data is going to be sandbagged until later in the month, where then they're going to start to use those polls to qualify or disqualify candidates. From Kim's video, I found out that basically, Tulsi Gabbard is at least 2% in something like 22 or 23 polls. And only one matters to the DNC. Crazy. And then this from the Washington Examiner, basically telling it like it is. The lower tier Democratic candidates never had a chance except as spoilers. Now, I don't know if they're saying this because they just write off all of the candidates. Tulsi Gabbard, right off the bat here, hit Kamala Harris where it hurt during the second debate. John Delaney was given more than 10 minutes to go head-to-head with liberal frontrunners. Marianne Williamson was the most searched-for candidate on Google during and after the debate, but none of these lower-tier candidates have anything to show for their moments in the spotlight. A new Quinnipiac poll shows that the candidates who needed the debates the most benefited the least. Gabbard remains at 1%, supposedly. Delaney and Williamson sit at 0. I can kind of see why Delaney's at 0. Williamson, I don't know. I think she probably has some support. On the other hand, Joe Biden maintains his lead at 32%, down 2 points from before the debate, and Elizabeth Warren has now surged to 21%, gaining 6 points. Elizabeth Warren appears to be, and has been now for several weeks, the new media darling. And then Harris, however, tanked, which is good because she would be a disaster as president. Again, both Warren and Harris are essentially Hillary Clinton 2.0. Throw Joe Biden as also another Hillary Clinton 2.0. There are very few candidates in this race who are original. They are just as follows. The original candidates: Tulsi Gabbard, Andrew Yang, Marianne Williamson, Bernie Sanders. Those are your original candidates, meaning they're not status quo. They're not necessarily part of the establishment. Some people argue regarding Andrew Yang and his foreign policy. Yeah, I'm with you on that. His foreign policy and his Russian collusion hoax stuff is absolutely maddening because he's a very interesting guy. But it says here, Gabbard, who needs 2% or more support in at least 4 national polls. Again, she has support in 22 polls that give her 2% or more. Okay? Folks, it looks like the fix is in. Now, what are we to do? Let me just read on a little bit more, and then I'm going to tell you what I think should happen next. Lower tier candidates like Gabbard depend on the national debates. For most of them, it's the only chance they have to gain notoriety, and she did. She crushed it at both debates, being the most searched for candidates. And of course, the Harris takedown in debate 2 is epic. It is probably one of the great debate moments in my lifetime, to see somebody just call out truth and speak truth to power. And if you want to say she was throwing a Hail Mary or a Molotov cocktail, whatever, however you want to look at what she was doing in order to get noticed, she did exactly what she needed to do. And a lot of people really thought at that point her campaign would take off. And it did, by the way. This is the dirty secret, and Kim Iverson talks about this a lot, is that donations started pouring in. Look, I know the way polling works, and, you know, they're calling landlines, and they're calling old people and so forth, people who are registered to vote but probably aren't voting, and that, I mean, there are all kinds of things and stats to look at that these polls, Jordan Chariton does a great job breaking down polling data. However, I would say that underestimating Joe Biden has been a mistake throughout this entire process. I hate to say it, but he has a lot of support for whatever reason. He doesn't have enthusiasm, but he has support. I mean, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, so she had support. She didn't have enthusiasm, and, you know, with the right combination of, you know, electoral markers in various regions of the country, it would be an easy win for a candidate who, like Tulsi Gabbard, could appeal across party lines, would bring all the Democrats in, would bring a bunch of libertarians and conservatives in, and you'd have, you know, it would be an easy win for Tulsi. This is what I keep saying. Joe Biden is very much susceptible to Donald Trump, and Joe Biden is not, a sharp guy mentally speaking. So this is what we ought to do. All right, this is what I think Tulsi Gabbard should do. All right, this is all true, and by the way, this was all predicted by so many pundits. In fact, I'm a little, I guess, what's the word? I'm a little put off by the fact that a lot of progressive pundits out there had ample time, rather than talking about how Joe Biden, gaffed again or whatever, or I mean, I guess it's good to clarify that Joe Biden, it's not a gaffe, it's actually maybe he's slipping. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just not cognitively all functioning at 100%. I think that was good, but then I see so much commentary about the horse race aspects of things when we are basically letting another Democratic primary go by and nothing has changed. This is my big problem with this entire thing. And I did a couple of videos at the very beginning when I started this channel talking about how I just... just think of the Jill Stein comment. You know, you can't have a revolution in a counter-revolutionary party, and they're picking polls. They're now Tulsi's away, so they knew that her being away, her momentum after the debate. What they probably thought, wow, she's actually going to do military service right now. She's going to go away for a couple of weeks, and her sister is basically going to run her campaign. You know, she had momentum, and now that momentum is starting to do this because she's not around. She's not doing sound bites. She's not on television. And, you know, let me be honest here. From a political standpoint, I understand why Tulsi had to do what she did, but man, it's how can anyone say this helps her campaign? It doesn't, which I guess Tulsi is going to be Tulsi. Some people are speculating, well, she never really wanted this in the first place. I don't think so. I think she really does want this. I don't think she's just angling to be a VP. I think she really does want this, and she wants to win it on her terms. Remember when Donald Trump was running for president? I don't know if anyone remembers it like I do, but there was a debate where the Republicans were basically egging him on, you have to go to this debate, and instead he went and did a rally somewhere. Instead of going to the debate, he had that much self-confidence, and he probably thought to himself, well, if I lose, I lose, but I'm not doing another one of these dog and pony show debates. And, you know, he became president. So, Tulsi Gabbard could still do well in this primary. But the problem is she's going to get shut out of the debates. And that leads me to what we need to do and what she needs to do. Don't shut this campaign down. Do not shut this campaign down. As these other candidates decide that they're going to pull the plug, they didn't get on the debate stage, the money's not coming in. See, this is the difference between this candidacy and others where, Julian Castro, maybe he's fundraising. I don't see it. I don't see the buzz behind Julian Castro. I don't see it. This summer, okay, let me talk about, this is another thing that's very important. Stuff will kick in until after Labor Day. Okay? In other words, it's when the TV season ramps up. It's when people come back from all their vacations. School everywhere, including college, is back in session. And right now, people are just zoned out. They're doing their thing until after Labor Day. And I think it's really foolish to start to just pack everything in before, the stuff really begins to ramp up. That's why I said it was really crucial. If she can get into the next debate, she's going to be a headache for them going forward because she's going to continue to pound away at the establishment and to, go after these corporate Democrats for, we saw when she went after Tim Ryan. She's an equal opportunity offender and she's going to stick to her principles. Look, she shouldn't shut the campaign down if she doesn't get on the debate stage. She shouldn't shut it down. A lot of us were probably like, well, that's it. She's not on the stage. So, nope, she shouldn't shut it down. She should stay in. In fact, the night of the debate, what I would do if I'm Tulsi Gabbard and I'm not on the debate stage, if that's what appears to be happening, which probably will happen, I do my own event, a la Donald Trump, okay? Now, I know people are going to say, oh, she's just like Trump now. She's trying to she thinks she's bigger than the Democratic, she thinks she's bigger than I don't know where the next debate is, but I'd laugh my butt off if the commentators were like, well, she thinks she's bigger than CNN. Ha! Yes, she is bigger. Look, I would encourage my brothers and sisters who do independent journalism here on YouTube, the Kyle Kalinskis, the Jimmy Dore show, any of these people, the night of the Democratic debate, if Tulsi Gabbard isn't on the stage, if Mary Ann Williamson isn't on the stage, if any other candidate who's not on that stage wants to participate in an indie media debate, because we can keep it alive. We don't need network TV. Okay? We don't need it. The Democratic Party can't say to Tulsi Gabbard, well, now you need to suspend your campaign because you didn't make the debate stage. They can't do that. They just can't. And look, I would hold on to this and you know what might happen is eventually, say another debate goes by, and all the indie media is working on behalf of Tulsi Gabbard and anyone else who wants to get involved with it, who's legitimate, who's not a corporatist, because, I don't think we want Beto O'Rourke, although he's qualifying, unbelievably, he's qualifying for debates. So they would rather have the country, have the guy who is just shouting and standing on tables, they would rather have him carry the nuclear football around rather than Tulsi Gabbard. It's absolutely mind-boggling how insanely immature the way this process is, looking at the least serious people among us to run the country. And they're looking at defeating Donald Trump, and they call him Orange Man Bad. Orange Man... Well, who are you going to put up against Orange Man Bad? Beto O'Rourke? Pete Buttigieg? Good Lord. We need help. We need divine intervention. Here's the deal. Tulsi Gabbard, indie media, it continues. Joe Rogan would be an awesome place for this to happen. Like if Joe Rogan said, you know what, I want to get involved in this. Or if Joe doesn't want to do it, you've got a number, I'm thinking again of Kyle Kalinske and Jimmy Dore. There are other great channels out there, but I'm looking for channels with a large number of subscribers who could really take on the networks as far as a live stream. It'd be funny because I bet you YouTube would want to shut that sucker down because they shut a few live streams down. But if you have your own debate, this is like the power of the people. All right? Maybe you bring in some other candidates you could bring in people from the Green Party. You could bring in libertarians and just have everybody up there throwing out issues, running for the presidency, getting name ID, getting recognized, and because we need to start, people. I've been saying this. I said this when I first started the channel. We need to start. We've got to start going around this because you could see it coming. And I told people, and they would send me messages, Dave, you got to stay positive, man. Why are you being so discouraging? I mean, I could see the video, like the number of views just going down the tubes as soon as I started talking truth to this. People didn't want to know. People wanted Tulsi. Yes, Tulsi. But we got to start organizing. We got to start planning. So, anyone wants to spread this video around? My hands are flailing. I'm doing a little Beto O'Rourke here. Not because of me. Talk to other commentators and say, would you be, if DNC shuts these people out, we can't go down without a fight. We can't go down. And then we make these videos go viral. If Bernie Sanders and Joe Rogan could sit down, and they've got like, I think 9 million views and counting right now, 10 days ago, 11 days ago. All right. Imagine the indie media presidential debate. Imagine that. And I guarantee you would see a few of the candidates saying, okay, they're not going to let us in. Let's go on indie media because this is the future. These are where the grassroots supporters are. These are where younger viewers are who understand tech and they can stream YouTube on their Roku and so forth. They understand, some of the things that, I'm just saying, a lot of the Joe Biden supporters are still watching. They're still hoping that their rabbit ears will work without the HD adapter. It's a different crew, people, and we need to start organizing now. So that's my video on this. We don't stop. It is discouraging. It is really discouraging because Tulsi kicked butt in those debates, and everybody knows that she had momentum. And because she went away for a couple of weeks, and the DNC behind the scenes, I'll tell you what polls are the ones you can qualify with. That's insanity. That's them telling you what democracy is, and we're not living in the right country anymore if that's the way things are going to go. That's why we need to take these matters into our own hands. The indie media debate needs to happen. And I know you would say, well, it's just like, the kids' table thing? No, it's better than the kids' table. It's the real grassroots candidates. Bernie, thank goodness he's up there. He's qualifying for these debates. They can't shut him out. He's got 1 million, volunteers on the ground, and he's fundraising at a record clip. Okay, so he's not going to be shut out of those debates. But who knows? Maybe Bernie might want to be part of both things, although he wouldn't be able to be unless he was on an opposite night. Wouldn't it be cool for Bernie Sanders to be part of the indie debate, which you could schedule opposite of another debate that they're having, unless, of course, they cull it all down to one, which they probably will. Which, again, from a soundbite perspective, you've got to, toss out some kind of crazy statement in order to get noticed. And I'd rather hear a Joe Rogan sit down, explain your policy type thing. I think Joe Rogan would kill it. I think he'd be awesome. And I think he needs to be considered if he'd be willing to do it. And he wouldn't be doing the gotcha thing. He wouldn't be doing the Assad apologist nonsense. He'd be asking important questions that these candidates could answer. And, and maybe throw a few curveballs rather than the same old boring CNN, MSNBC talking points. That's just, my suggestion. And in the face of what's happening, folks, it's our only way around. But we could do it. We could do it unless YouTube pulls the plug. Then guess what? We need another video streaming platform. We need live stream. We need something where people can actually watch this. And I know it's going to pale in comparison to, the network TV coverage and so forth, but maybe not. There are a lot of indie YouTubers that are getting incredible amounts of views on each video. So, all right, I'm done with this, and we're not done. Tulsi's not done. This is my suggestion. Tulsi, if you're listening, don't quit. Even if they blackball you out of this, you can keep going, and I would say keep building that grassroots support. I mean, the Iowa caucuses are what, February or something? We've got a long way, people. We don't give up now, and we go around. Like I said, if you can't go through, you go around. All right, I'm done. See you soon.